Have you ever had anything amazing happen to you? Just think about the most happy moment you ever had. It could be your first day going to college, having a promotion that you've been fighting for, finding out that your loved one is having a baby. Any little happy moment that you can think about. Now, I want you to do and hold your hand like this. Imagine this part of your hand is the flame of happiness. Now, think about how big that is. It's really huge, isn't it? Now imagine something happened to it. That all that flame of happiness and success just fade away. Imagine something really bad happened to you. The reason why I'm telling you this because on November 17th, 2013, I was a victim of sexual assault here in Austin, California. And it was the worst experience I ever had. It was my first day at a job that I didn't have to go through a program. I literally earned this, and it was hard for me to find a job. And the first day, my manager asked me to come in at 5 in the morning. And even so, I didn't have a car or a bike, and I didn't want to ask anyone for a ride because, one, I wanted to be independent, and two, I was too cocky. I felt like nothing could ever happen to me. So, beside me trying to tell my manager I couldn't, I told him, yeah, I'll be here at 5 o'clock. So I left my house around 3:30 in the morning, and I was walking, and all of a sudden, a guy came out of nowhere, and then he followed me to the point that I was sexually assaulted for 4 hours. It was the worst experience in my life. I felt like everything that I worked for, all the way to that point, was taken away from me. I was so upset. I was down and broken to the point that I felt like part of me died. And because of that, my life had changed around. It was really hard for me to even leave my house without someone being there with me. I had to miss work for a whole week just to get out there. And up to this point, I get bad anxiety, and I'm still struggling with this. But what the one thing I learned about is that you need to control of everything that you've been through. Even so, this has been a really hard topic for me to even talk about. I know that I could face this head on. Because someone once said that fear is just a little thing, but the way how you can control it is by bringing your courage. And I actually want to do something with you guys. I want you guys to join me in this journey I'm going to do. Now, you don't have to follow me right now, but someday I want you guys to do it. It could be any fear that you guys had. It could be what I'm facing or a little challenge that you guys have in your life. Now, I'm actually going to go right now to show you where it all happened. So I want you guys to join me and watch every step where my incident take place. And in the end, I'm actually going to get my courage to become facing my fear.
I was walking downstairs from my house. It was 3:30 in the morning. I was excited to be working at a job that I earned on my own without a temp agency or a program to get the job. I got hired 11 days ago, and already I didn't like how I had to walk at work at night because my shift started at 5 in the morning. So I told myself I had worked at night before and I was fine. So what's the worst that could ever happen to me? I was enjoying being outside, walking at night under the stars and listening to my music. I was thinking how tired I was working full time and I haven't had a day off yet. Even so, I had a job. I miss waking up in the morning and starting my day with an open like shade and then working out. Everything was going fine. I was crossing the street to get to the other side like I normally do to head to work. And then all of a sudden I heard a noise. So I turned around and I saw this random guy talking to me in Spanish, shaking my hand. So I turned around and saw it heading back. I thought it was weird because one, I was wearing all black, and two, he came out of nowhere. Then the next thing I knew, he was following me. I saw him on this side of the store glass, and there were a few times I told him to go away. but he would keep following me. At first, I would kind of get a little worried, but I thought he was just walking somewhere the same direction I was. But then I would run. I was at the point that I was freaking out. My heart was pounding, and I was so scared. I don't know what to think at this point, but I knew that I need to get out of here as fast as I can and head to work. I was so scared. I didn't know what to do. I literally just wanted to stop crying because I was alone. But I was at that point that I didn't want to lose my job. And what really got to me, he was still following me. And then I found out where there were a laundromat and an alley ahead that if I were to turn left, it would take me back to the street and I could just run from there. So my goal was to make it look like I'm going down the alley, but make a left and run all the way to work so I could be safe and still keep my job.
November 17th, 2013 was the worst experience I ever been through. The laundromat right here was where I was able to find a place that I could be safe. And even though I only had half of my clothes, I was trying to call for help, but no one did understand me because they all spoke Spanish. And when the guy who attacked me walked down the alley like nothing, it was a really hard target for me. I didn't know what to do. I never thought this would ever happen to me. After the day, it felt like a nightmare. Luckily, I was able to call the police, but the thing is, I had another challenge. He threw my phone over here where the tree is, but I was strong enough to pop that fence and run back to get my phone. There was a spot that the guy physically hit me, started choking me to the point that he pushed me against this tree, took me around, and started attacking me for 4 hours. The knife was real. And then me walking all the way down there, that when he took off his clothes, he wouldn't let me go. After that, I came driving with a friend of mine, and the spot I was right now, that's where I caught the guy drunk, sitting here like nothing. So I called the police. They made me park by that tree to see if the guy that was sitting there was the actual guy. And luckily, by God, it was him. He was just sitting here, drunk. I don't know why. But maybe you think that maybe he just did it with your dream. Or maybe because he just needed good luck. That same day we caught the guy and they put the article. I never thought this would ever happen to me. Why would anyone do this to me? To anyone, period. The one question I asked that guy, why are you doing this? Please let me go. Will you ever do this to your own daughter? This is something that people need to talk about. This is something that is a really hard topic to talk, but look what happened before. Young men, women, even our child, future children. Do we want this in our world? I don't. I don't want to live in a world that this is still happening. And people who've been attacked or became victims, they end up becoming prostitutes, having overdose of drug and alcohol, even suicide. I'm standing up today and I'm saying no more. I'm saying no more fear, no more sexual assault, no more.